We kept talking, never checking. You knew my nights, not me. Every night we talked. Not the kind of talking people imagine when they hear two people stay up until midnight texting each other. It was mostly small things. What did you eat? Did work end late? Did the rain stop? A photo of a random snack from a convenience store. A screenshot of a song. A complaint about traffic. A joke that wasn't even funny. The conversation never really ended. It just paused until the next night. And somehow, that became part of my routine. There was a point when your name sat in the same place every evening. Right above my keyboard. Right above the messages from everyone else. Sometimes I would unlock my phone without thinking, open our chat, stare at it for 2 seconds, then lock the screen again. Not because there was something important to say, just because you were there. I think that's how some connections become dangerous. Not through grand promises. Not through love confessions. But through repetition. The quiet certainty that someone will appear at the end of your day. The strange comfort of seeing a typing bubble. The feeling of knowing exactly how long they usually take to reply. I knew those things about you. I knew when you were busy. I knew when you were probably lying in bed. I knew when you were scrolling because your replies became shorter. I knew when you fell asleep holding your phone because your last message would suddenly stop in the middle of a thought. And maybe that's what feels strange now. We knew so much about each other's habits, but almost nothing about each other's sadness. Because neither of us ever asked. Not really. How was your day? Sure. What are you doing? All the time. What did you eat? Almost every night. But somehow, neither of us ever typed the question that actually mattered. Are you okay? Maybe we were afraid of making things heavier. Maybe we thought it wasn't our place. Or maybe we got so comfortable talking that we forgot how to actually check in. There were nights when I stared at your messages while feeling completely exhausted. Not physically. The other kind. The kind where your room is quiet, your phone brightness is turned all the way down, and you're reading the same message 3 times because your mind won't stay still. You would send me a meme. I would react with a laughing emoji. Then we'd continue talking. As if nothing was happening. As if I wasn't carrying something I couldn't explain. And maybe you were doing the same. Maybe there were nights when you wanted someone to notice. Not fix anything. Just notice. But instead we kept exchanging updates. Tiny pieces of information. No pieces of ourselves. The funny thing is, from the outside, it probably looked close. 2 people talking every night. Never missing a day. Always replying. Always there. But presence and understanding aren't always the same thing. You can know someone's schedule and still not know they're struggling. You can know what time they sleep and still not know why they can't. I realized that one night while scrolling through our old messages. Thousands of texts. Months of conversations. Pages and pages of words. And yet there wasn't a single moment where either of us truly stopped and asked, "Are you holding up okay?" That hurt more than I expected. Not because you failed me. Not because I failed you. But because we were both close enough to be noticed and somehow still invisible. I think a lot of people live like that now. Connected all day. Understood almost never. We send photos of our meals. We send voice notes. We send reels. We send good morning and good night. But the heavier things stay hidden behind perfect timing and normal conversations. The loneliness isn't always being alone. Sometimes it's answering messages for 3 hours straight while feeling like nobody can see what's happening inside your head. I remember one specific night. Nothing dramatic happened. That's probably why I remember it. I was sitting on the edge of my bed charging my phone. The charger only worked if the cable bent at a weird angle. So I kept adjusting it every few minutes. You were talking about something that happened at work. I was replying. The conversation looked completely normal. But I remember staring at the blinking cursor and thinking, if I disappeared for a week, would anyone know I'm tired? Not sad. Not broken. Just tired. The kind of tired people don't post about. The kind hidden behind haha, yeah, and I'm fine. I never sent that thought. You never asked. The night continued. Like every other night. Maybe that's what stays with me now. Not the things we said. The things we never gave each other permission to say. Because when people talk every day, they start assuming they know each other. But familiarity can sometimes hide distance. We knew the surface so well that neither of us noticed what was underneath. And still, every night, the messages arrived. Right on time. The screen lighting up in a dark room. The little vibration on a bedside table. The habit of smiling when a familiar name appeared. The comfort was real. So was the loneliness. And somehow those 2 things existed together. That's the part nobody talks about. You can be someone's favorite conversation and still feel unseen. You can matter to each other and still miss each other completely. For a long time, I thought closeness meant frequency. Now I think it might mean something simpler. Being brave enough to ask the question people usually avoid. Being honest enough to answer it. Because sometimes 2 people can spend every night talking and still go to sleep feeling completely alone.